What's going on, guys? It's Jake from Game Domain. Today, we're bringing you guys a fairly cool video, and one that might serve as a precursor to an eventual documentary in the future. Most massive video game, movie, or other media franchises have definite timelines. A list of what games take place where and how the plot has progressed from game to game. Such franchises mainly include detailed, in-depth plot, such as the Halo franchise, which has always had a definitive timeline as to when each game takes place. Other franchises, though, such as The Legend of Zelda and Pokemon, have incredibly well-developed and detailed plots within every game, but no real definitive timeline linking between the individual titles. Today, we're going to be looking at the latter of the two flagship Nintendo franchises we mentioned, and the information that we have on the Pokemon timeline is actually much less than you may expect. Pokemon has spanned over nearly 25 years now, with the original Pokemon Red and Green back in Japan in 1996 and coming to the US in the form of Pokemon Red and Blue 2 years later. Since then, we have gotten 7 new generations, hundreds of new Pokemon, and plenty of incredible titles ranging from brand new adventures to carefully crafted remakes. Please give us Sinnoh remakes soon. Each game in the franchise tells its own story, whether it is an introduction to a new region or a remake of a familiar one. Every single title develops a plot that pulls the player into the game, wanting more of the game at every twist and turn. But the weird thing is that these individual plots have no definitive correlation between them, as they are mainly just individual stories all in one world. Of course, there are crossovers between generations and regions, such as Red appearing in both Generation 2 games and the Generation 7 games, and the fact that your Generation 3 character is just moving to Hoenn from Johto, and even Team Rocket members showing up as elder citizens with children in later generations. But overall, there are very few hints or clues as to the timeline of the games. But for the sake of this video, we are going to discuss the only true source of a possible real Pokemon timeline. This timeline came from the form of a tweet, and I'm so sorry, by Toshinobu Matsuhisa back in 2014, the lead scenario developer at Game Freak since the days of Ruby and Sapphire. The tweet entailed a mix of Japanese lettering and American lettering, and read like this when fully translated: RB equals RS to GS equals DPP to BW to BW2 to X and Y. This tweet was difficult to understand, but was quickly decoded by Pokemon fans that very day, and Matsuhisa was forced to remove the tweet. Game Freak or the Pokemon Company has never acknowledged or discussed the tweet since. And after the mysterious murder of Matsuhisa, oh, okay, I'm just kidding. But seriously, the Pokemon fans never forget. This tweet tells us that the events of the Kanto titles, Pokemon Red and Blue, along with their remakes, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, take place at the same time as Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are excluded from this because they really are considered to be alternate timelines. With Yellow and Let's Go offering different plots to the original Kanto games, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire being confirmed to be in a different timeline due to their introduction of Mega Evolutions into the Hoenn region. We then have the only real in-game confirmation of how much time took place between the games, as it is referenced multiple times throughout your Johto adventure that the events of Red and Blue took place 3 years prior. And, according to this tweet, this means 3 years later, the events of Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum took place. So, Red and Blue happened at the same time as Ruby and Sapphire, and Gold and Silver happened at the same time as Diamond and Pearl. Okay, doesn't seem all that confusing so far. Then the timeline gets very linear, with Pokemon Black and White following the previous games, Black and White 2, take place after Black and White, and X and Y after Black and White 2. Now this tweet was released way before the release of Generation 7 and 8 games, leaving them out of this theory. But it can be inferred that Generation 7 takes place likely after X and Y, and certainly, well, after Red and Blue, as the characters Red and Blue appear as much older versions of their original selves in the battle tree in the Alola region. Various YouTubers and Poke fans alike have delved deep into how many years separate all the rest of the games, and we're going to credit the great Candy Evie and her The Pokemon Timeline video, which we will leave a link for in the description, so go check it out. Based on her and many others' research, she came up with these times in between each game. We are going to exclude third versions and remakes for the sake of redundancy, so here it is. Gold, Silver, Diamond, and Pearl take place 3 years after Red, Blue, Ruby, and Sapphire. Approximately 6 to 8 years after these games, Black and White took place. 2 years stands in between Black and White and Black and White 2, with the events of X and Y happening right after, but virtually simultaneously as Black and White 2. So, at the moment, Game Freak has never given us a real timeline, and the only somewhat real timeline we have is from that very credible tweet, which very well might be true due to how quickly it was taken down and the murder of Sorry, I had to do it again. But just based on that one-line tweet, Poke fans from all walks of life and corners of the world were able to figure out where every game takes place. This timeline was determined by what we now know from in-game events and game dialogues and obvious correlations between the games for generations. For example, there is a strong relation between Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, mainly because they were both released in Generation 4. The regions were even linked in the form of Sinjo Ruins, serving as a haven for the never actually released Arceus event. This is also evident in the correlation between Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Their relation is similar to that between the Generation 4 titles due to the fact that these games were all released in Generation 3, and even shared events, with the Faraway Island Mew event, Birth Island Deoxys event, and Naval Rock Ho-Oh and Lugia event being available in all Generation 3 titles, further linking the games. Wow, the fact that all of this information can be derived from just one tweet really shows how incredible the Pokemon franchise and its fans are. Fans are willing to go to great lengths to research every piece of dialogue, plot, and location in every single game to try and piece this thing together. Candy Evie was one of the first YouTubers to create one of these definitive timelines. And we want you guys to check out her channel and her timeline video because that served as some inspiration for what we brought you guys today. The story of Pokemon is one that can be covered in a video hours in length. And if you guys would like to see a Pokemon timeline documentary, please let us know. Wow, that was yet another fun video to make. Pokemon sure is an expansive world, and there really is so many awesome videos we can make. Tell us what you thought of today's video down in the comments, and don't forget to click subscribe and leave a like on today's video, as well as check out some of our recent uploads. Make sure you also check out the links in the description, as there you will find the link to our Patreon and to join our Discord. Join our Discord to connect with our staff here at the channel, as well as participate in the great Domain Legion content we have going on there. Our Discord is open to all gaming fans, as we now have over 400 fans of the channel and gamers talking about what we love to do every single day. So come on and join to participate in this great community. We would once again like to thank you guys for our incredible support, and thanks for watching today's video. We'll see you next time.